Hello everybody and welcome to the Arkansas Weather Blog. We are your ticket to big weather events, and we have got a very interesting week, next week and a half ahead of us, because all the models right now are agreeing that we're going to have a push of some very cold Arctic air. But what they're also showing as well is possibly some wintry weather to go along with it. But this is going to be quite interesting by the end of the week. Now, the nature of Arctic air is that it always comes faster and harder than what the models predict. At one point last week, it was predicting this Arctic air to come in maybe late Thursday and into Friday. I'm going to move it up to Thursday. Now it's looking like this stuff could start to come in on Wednesday, especially in northwest Arkansas, with waves of moisture coming across. There's still a lot of questions that need to be answered, and the purpose of the blog here is not to incite any sort of panic or alarm. We'll tell you when you need to, we're never going to tell you to panic. But, we'll raise concerns and heighten them as time goes on and if it warrants it. But what I'm trying to do here is just raise awareness as to the possibilities. And I'm going to show you computer model information here from the European model, because last night's run was a slap in the face with cold air and moisture. And it shows some pretty extreme conditions as far south as Arkansas. I'll get to the model information. But again, it's one run of one model. It's going to change. I cannot stress that enough. Things are going to change. But what we do here on the Arkansas Weather Blog, we say, hey, take a look at this. Take a look at this possibility. The bottom line, what I'm very confident in, and what all the modeling is saying, yeah, the cold air, it's coming. After a couple of mild days this week, the cold air is going to come. What happens after that with the moisture is what's debatable. So what's on the table right now are several days, maybe 3-4 days put together where temperatures struggle to get above freezing even in central Arkansas. That's on the table. Wind chill values below zero across northern Arkansas. That's on the table. What has to be answered here is the depth of the cold air. All right, how deep is it going to be? Cold, low-level Arctic air, it's very dense in nature. It is very close to the ground. And because of that, sometimes it has trouble getting over the Ozarks and getting further towards the south. Now, the modeling that I'm looking at says, forget about that. It's coming. But that's always something you have to keep in mind, are the Ozarks blocking some of that cold air from heading towards the south. So what's the depth of that cold air when it arrives? Is it just 1,000 feet deep? Is there a warm layer of air above that prevents any snow from falling, and then you're dealing with an ice situation? Is the cold air deep enough so that it's all snow? And where is that going to set up across the state? Again, these are all hypothetical things that have to be answered. The precipitation type and the placement. If there is any moisture, where is it going to be? So I'm going to show you model information. I've talked long enough, haven't I? The first thing I'm going to show you here is the European model. And I've got a lot of information to go over, so just bear with me. But this is all coming from weatherbell.com, a subscription-based website. They're great people over there. Dr. Ryan Maui has done an incredible job putting all this information together on their website. And they are also contributors to our Arkansas Weather Blog Winter Weather Contest with the free 1-year subscription to the winner of the contest, which we won't know until the end of February. But I'm going to start off with the European model. And the time frame that we're looking at here, this is 90 hours out. This is at noon on Wednesday. Look at this. Can you tell where the Arctic front is? It's in the 40s in northwest Arkansas and in the lower 70s across portions of south and southeast Arkansas. There's the front, and it sticks out like a sore thumb. 96 hours out, this is late Wednesday, and it's still, like I said, the speed of this. Models will not understand the speed of this, but I think the European is starting to catch on to it, and it's possibly going to arrive a full day, maybe even later than that, a day and a half faster than what we first thought. So this is Wednesday, and that could be the warmest day of the week, because the front by 6 o'clock is entering central Arkansas. We're in the 50s in Russellville, and we're talking about 60s across southern Arkansas. This is Thursday morning. It's 54 degrees here. That's not horrible, but it's in the 30s in northwest Arkansas. Like I said, that cold air, you see this? That cold air gets stopped by the Ozarks. But for how long? That's the question. I think the European model is showing that to a degree here, how that cold air, it's got to come around, usually on a northeast easterly flow. That's how the cold air gets further towards the south, and it does that. This is late Thursday. The Arctic boundary is all the way into Mississippi and Louisiana. And by Thursday at 6 o'clock, we're in the upper 30s. So we have falling temperatures. It's in the 20s across northwest Arkansas. We're down to the low to mid 40s across southeast Arkansas. Again, one computer model. This is not a forecast. This is just what a computer model says. This is Friday at 6 p.m. and it's 27 degrees in Little Rock. Notice how that it's in the teens. It's in the teens. It's showing 14 degrees in Harrison next Friday at 6 p.m. Let me say that again. 14 degrees in Harrison at 6 p.m. next Friday. 27 here. The entire state is below freezing at this point. So Friday, this is at 144 hours, may be a struggle to get above freezing in many locations. Saturday morning, 6 a.m. All right, this is unbelievable stuff. 7 degrees in Clinton, 2 degrees in Harrison. It's in the teens, mid-teens in Central Arkansas. Again, one computer model. This can change, but I want to show this and get this out here. This is Saturday at 6. Looks like we're in the 20s, low 20s and upper teens in Little Rock, 18 in Searcy. Again, this is early in the evening next Saturday. It's 10 in Harrison, 28 degrees in Monticello. I'm going to say this till I'm blue in the face, because with this type of air, I will be blue in the face. But this, again, is not a forecast. This is a computer model. This is Sunday afternoon. Let's just go to Sunday morning. This is Sunday morning. It's in the 20s here. And the temperatures actually remain steady or come up, and there's a reason why. It's because there's some moisture coming. 12 degrees in Harrison. This is just remarkable stuff. This is Sunday at 6 p.m. We're in the low 20s still. We're talking about, if this computer model, the European, comes to fruition, if this verifies, you're talking about an extended period of below freezing temperatures. And it gets even worse than this. This is Monday. It's near freezing Monday, but look at this. Hold on, let me see if I can get to it. Here it is. Tuesday morning, what the model is seeing is frozen. You see this area of reds and purples? What the computer model, the European is doing this, what's amazing in the long range, it's seeing frozen precipitation covering the ground. All right, it's on the ground, whether that's snow or ice. And you got clear skies, and what it's doing, this entire area next Tuesday morning, more than a week away, can't stress that enough, it's dropping temperatures into the single digits for much of the state. That's dependent upon if there's something frozen on the ground. Again, a computer model, not a forecast. All right? Now precipitation. I know this looks kind of messy, and I don't know why this is so slow. Okay, let's go right to Thursday at noon. This is Thursday at noon. What you see in these black lines are isobars, lines of equal barometric pressure. And you see how it increases as measured in millibars, 10, 12, 10, 14, 10, 16, 10, 18, 10, 20, going all the way up to a center of high pressure towards the north. You got the Arctic boundary just towards the south and moisture overriding it. This light blue line, I don't know if you can see it, it's very faint, but this light blue line is the 35 degree line. This darker blue line, again, you can see the Ozarks holding up that cold air initially on Thursday. It's getting colder throughout the state, but the sub-freezing air is still across northwest Arkansas. So you're getting a cold rain and maybe some frozen precipitation by Thursday afternoon across the northwestern sections of the state. Out to 120 hours, this is Thursday at 6 o'clock. Now that freezing line now has progressed a little bit further towards the south and the east, and we have precipitation falling in the form of some frozen precipitation here again across the north and a cold rain elsewhere. All right, this is Friday morning. You've got a new wave of moisture coming across, and now on Friday morning, the 32 degree line is through Saline, Pulaski County. So that cold air is coming down slowly. I'm talking about the sub-freezing air because it's already cold, but the sub-freezing air is penetrating into southern Arkansas out of the Ozarks. Again, the Ozarks may hold this up just a little bit for a little while. 144 hours out, and things are beginning to dry out late Friday. The sub-freezing air has engulfed the entire state, and the precipitation is moving off towards the east. However, if we go further out in the model and into, like I told you, the model is seeing some precipitation coming back. This is late Sunday. It's got another wave of moisture targeting the southeastern half of the state. Where's the freezing line at the surface? Well, it's south of the state. So what this is telling me is that this is all frozen across Arkansas with this next wave of moisture. Again, a computer model and not a forecast. This is, let's go, Monday morning. Sub-freezing air. Now, it looks like it's trying to back up the freezing line into east central Arkansas near the Pine Bluff area into southwestern Arkansas. Everybody in central and northern Arkansas is still below freezing. The heaviest stuff is across the south. So that pushes that wave of moisture towards the east. And there it is. We dry out, and it is extremely cold. All right. So you see those two waves of moisture. The one on Thursday into Friday, and then the other one late Sunday that we're going to watch. Here's the GFS interpretation of the whole ordeal. And it's also on board on Thursday, this is at noon, showing that sub-freezing air, see that? That red line on the GFS is the freezing line. And this is Thursday at noon, showing that we have ice up here in northwestern Arkansas and rain elsewhere. Like I said, the sub-freezing air is held up by the Ozarks. But for how long, and when does that come towards the south? This is Thursday at 6 p.m., Still the sub-freezing air is in northern Arkansas with snow and ice up there. It's a cold rain here. But as the precipitation and the wave of moisture moves on off towards the east and that cold air comes in, look at the changeover on Friday morning. This is Friday morning. The 32-degree line is south of Little Rock, and we have sleet, freezing rain, and snow. It looks like light amounts, but that can cause problems. Again, a computer model, not a forecast. This is I keep getting my days mixed up. This is Friday at 6. The moisture is exiting. The freezing line is across southern Arkansas, and we got that wave of moisture leaving. So let's see what that next wave of moisture, according to the overnight run of the GFS. This is late Saturday, so it's picking up on the moisture coming back. That peach, by the way, is the sleet, and the purple is freezing rain. The blue is snow. But it shows the moisture coming back and affecting the southern half of the state. This is Sunday at 6 a.m., and that it keeps the moisture, the waves of moisture, further towards the south. So there's disagreement with the placing of where the precipitation is, what the precipitation type is, but it does look like there's going to be waves of moisture. This is a long video, isn't it? The other thing I wanted to point out are wind chill values, and they're going to be brutal. Friday morning, wind chill values in Missouri and Kansas are all below zero, and we're around 20 here. It's in the single digits across northwest Arkansas. That's Friday morning. Saturday morning, the GFS has wind chill values in central Arkansas in the single digits and well below zero wind chill values across Oklahoma and northwest Arkansas. So, the bottom line here, what you're getting out of this is the fact, and there it is again, that's Sunday morning. I showed you Sunday morning. And that's late Sunday and still below freezing, or below zero in southern Missouri. So you can see the models show the cold air. It's just what precipitation type, if we get precipitation, and where's the placement of it. So again, what I showed you, not a forecast, but it's computer modeling. And I want to raise awareness as to the possibilities that exist as we're going to have a rapid change, an Arctic plunge, the strongest cold air mass of the season. And it's going to rival what we saw, I think, after the Christmas snow of last year in December. And if there's snow on the ground, it could even be colder than that. That's given the right conditions. So as I showed you, the European model is showing single digits across the state and more than a week away. And again, that's going to change. But it's really amazing to see the model picking that up this far in advance. So I'll keep you updated. I know I'm long-winded, but that's what the Arkansas Weather Blog is here for, because during a weather forecast on Channel 7, I'm only given about three and a half minutes to tell you what's going to happen over the next 7 days, and that's very tough to do in a complicated pattern like this. And what the blog allows me to do is show you the forecasting headaches we have. So when I go into work today, by the way, I do these videos from my home office, but when I go into work today, I've got to, I do my 7-day forecast, write it all down, look at the computer models, put it into a graphical form. And, what am I going to go with on the air? Am I going to buy into this? You know what? Those are the things I got to do to make a forecast. And to, if I've got to put snow and ice in the forecast, I will. And I'm definitely going to be trending our temperatures downward. I think that's a given. I had 40 next Saturday for a high, and I'm going to take that down at least 5 degrees, probably more. So I'll do everything I can to keep you updated right here on the Arkansas Weather Blog, Twitter, and Facebook. Social media, tons of information there. KATV on the air and on KATV.com. Have a great Sunday, everybody. Thanks for coming to the Arkansas Weather Blog. We are your ticket to big weather events.